Good morning. Good morning. It's Cowboy at 6:30 a.m. and the CPI just came out. So we're going to jump straight into the charts. If you want to know more about what we do, zap the QR code in the top right-hand corner. That'll take you over to algofactory.tech. Also, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That helps us get more content out to you. Let's go ahead and open up the screens. Share the screens here. So CPI just came out and it looks like it's dollar strong, right? So it's either there's an announcement of a surprise hike in the rate, or it's not hike, but it's CPI. So it's either inflation got strong, right? There's more inflation than expected by quite a bit here. Look at that candle down here on the chart. That's a 1 or 2 minutes worth of price action. That's a lot. That's a big candle down. Almost 1% right now, which is big in forex, right? So we're looking at the EUR USD. That's what we're looking at. Bitcoin might have reacted in a similar manner. So if inflation is reported as high, right, because we just had the CPI number, it looks like Bitcoin's relatively unaffected on the 30-minute. That's a trade that I didn't take, by the way, that I just had mapped out. Let's see here. Let me go to a lower time frame on this. So we're going to look at Bitcoin now on the 5-minute. I mean, yeah, definitely some dollar strong price action, but nothing like forex, which forex is where a lot of the economic data is going to be manifested in the charts. Let's look at USD JPY. That means the dollar this chart should have gone upwards. Yeah, look at that. That's a strong move. So let's go over to see what the CPI data was. Obviously, inflation being higher than expected, and we'll explain why those charts are going up. So here we go. Let's see, we got somebody in the comments. Morning, Mav Bet. Thanks for joining us here today. Oh, Gorilla's in too. Let me grab him here. What's up, Gorilla?
Dude, you just showed me that nightmare video. Holy shit, man.
Which one?
That poor M3 that was stripped to nothing.
Oh yeah, dude. That's like,
oh my god, bro.
That's brutal, dude.
Oh my god. They took the motor, bro.
Yeah, they took everything. It's just all they left was the shell, the body.
Oh my god.
The auto body is all that's left. Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, kind of like what we're seeing in the market here. You've got the CPI came out higher than expected and considerably higher year over year. So the market's reacting pretty strongly where the dollar's like really poking up. I mean, look at that chart right there. That's a pretty strong move on the 5-minute from the USD JPY. So you're talking about from USD JPY 149. So I'd say at least 0.5% on USD JPY, and I think on EUR USD even stronger. I think you're looking at it went from better than 0.5%. So what's going on here is that to explain why the charts are moving like this, and there is even some move on Bitcoin, but not much. Bitcoin is super resilient right now. It's just really strong in general. But when the CPI, which is the inflation measure, right, when that comes out higher than expected, that means that the expectation of a rate cut is not as high as it was. And when the rate cut expectation is not high, that means that the market kind of had a rate cut possibly priced in. Now it's been confirmed we're probably not going to see a rate cut this month. And so the dollar gets strong, right? Because the lower the rate, the weaker the dollar, the higher the rate, the stronger the dollar. So clearly there was a fair amount of money in the market that was thinking, oh, okay, well, perhaps, there will be a rate cut. Perhaps CPI will come out super low, whatever. And that money exited the market. Or you're also looking at the possibility of money entering the market on the opposite side of that philosophy. So look, here's the thing. And I was just talking with one of our newer members in the private chat. And when it comes to these economic announcements, one of the things we have to watch is, and it was Koob, we were talking to Koob, who's one of the newer members. These data announcements are often used as a way to manipulate the market. Okay. So even if the data announcement is kind of a nothing burger, what the large banks will be able to do is understand where people's stop losses are. They have complete data when it comes to where all the trades are, where all the stop losses are, and they'll just use this data to manipulate the price and take out people's stops and even though like no one's ever admitted that, and I haven't talked to them, and I'm not saying that because I know that, but I'm saying that because that's pretty much kind of the wisdom, if you will. That's like everybody kind of knows that. So it's not always a good idea to trade these events. Even like, oh well, what if it went down? Or you could. There's people who are super nimble, or maybe they have like something programmed, like an algo that can bracket these trades. And I mean, that's possible. There's people who make money on this. I guarantee it. Otherwise, this wouldn't happen, right? The reason this happens is because someone's making money. But I think it's going to be like high level people with like Bloomberg terminals and automated situations. And I mean, I know a guy that, I know a guy personally where we kind of got into a tiff online, and I ended up, I kind of becoming his friend. Cause I was saying, don't trade news. And or at least saying, I don't trade news. And he was like, he was just saying, oh, well, I trade the news and I made all this money. And he's trying to say he made millions. I'm like, bro, you're sitting on Reddit trying to tell me you're making millions. Like, that's BS. And then he showed me like all the stuff in the background and explained the entire process. And I was like, okay. He's like me. He's kind of on here to try to help people. But he, the reason he could do that was because he's like a high level professional trader with automated systems, right? Like if you're just kind of a regular Joe trying to make money on this, it's just a big, big risk. In the private chat, Coob says dollar up, yields up, not good for risk on. Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. So here's the thing about like when the dollar is stronger, you're going to see, and in the bond market, you're talking about yields up. Look, when the dollar is stronger, that means that everything traded against the dollar goes down. So how do I put this? Well, I'll just do that on the screen here. It's just the easy way to like describe this. You can see in the background real faint, but I'll just type it out. This is EUR/USD. Now, everything in the stock market is traded just like this in the same sense, right? It's traded against the dollar. It's just that you don't see like Microsoft versus the dollar, MSFT/USD. You don't see it because we all know it's traded in dollars, right? Because in forex, it might be traded against the Japanese yen. It might be traded against something else. Right. So, but in this case, it's EUR versus USD. Right now, has the euro's value really changed? I mean, this announcement had nothing to do really with the euro. I mean, technically, it does have something to do with the euro, but from just the purposes of like this, let's just say it surely has a lot more to do with the dollar than it does the euro. Let's put it that way, because everything's interconnected. But in this case, the dollar went up, right? That's for sure. So if the dollar is getting stronger and the euro is trading against the dollar and the dollar is on the other side of the trade, then just by association, the euro is going to get weaker in this, right? It's not that the euro is getting weaker necessarily. In fact, technically, the euro could be getting stronger as well, just not as fast as the dollar. So if the dollar is getting stronger, then the euro is going to go down. Like imagine a house, right? A house for like $1 million, right? Well, let's just say dollars become worth more, right? So your dollars, let's say your dollars are like every dollar is now worth $1.50, right? Like a huge increase in the dollar, massive world ending, economy breaking, what we really probably need increase in the dollar. Well, your house would be worth 50% less. And it's not that the house is worth less as far as houses go. The house remained unchanged. It's just that the dollar became worth 50% more. You get it? So that's why the dollar, like your house is now going to be sitting at $75,000 if my math is right. It's either that or 50,000, whatever the number is. But your house's values are not. It's either, I think it'll be 750 if my math in my head is correct on that, or actually 66,000. I think is what it is, 67,000. So if the dollar went up by 50%. Then the value of your house is going to drop. Not in value of houses. Your house is worth what it was worth before. It's just that it takes less dollars to buy it. So it's worth less dollars. That's it. That's why it's going. March Zhang says they are dumping. Who is dumping? Okay, you're saying gold and cryptos, according to Ray. Guys, come on over to YouTube. That helps us out. Go to YouTube. Talk over there if you can, please. So let's do this. Okay, yeah. So now the effect is finally being seen with crypto. So it lagged a little bit. Certainly, look, those lines right there. Those were what do you call it? Can't talk. Those were liquidity lines, if I'm not mistaken. I can look now. I mean, obviously, if there was one down here, it's wiped out by now. But let's go ahead over to the Kingfisher and see what liquidity looks like now that this is all done. So there is some liquidity now sitting at 48.5 and at 43.5 is the biggest part of it. So really 43.5 to 44. So 48.5 and 43.5 to 44. So 48.9, now it's more like at 48.5. And then we said 43.9, more or less. That's way down. That's pretty far. There was liquidity here from 47, like kind of the mid 47s. Did that go away? Yeah, it looks like the 47s liquidity is it's still there. It's sitting there. It's just there's a lot more liquidity at these other areas now. 43.7 we said, more or less. Let's see. 43.5 to 43.9 is what we said. So okay, so we had a lot down here. Let's see if it's even still there. Well, that's pretty much in that zone. So it's now, this is kind of shrunk a bit. So it's like here, basically. 43.5. Wow, I hate when that happens. So 435 is where that should be. To 44,000. And then the bulk of that is going to be kind of right around this 43.5 area, mostly. It's like a strong bit right in there. So that's the liquidity map as it stands. There is this bit that's right here, but there's a lot more liquidity sitting just below price at 48.5. So this is where price, look, if price heads down, this is where it'll go. But in order for that to happen, price has to, or the charts have to favor a move down. Now we're on the 5-minute chart. So let's roll up to a much higher time frame on Bitcoin just to see what the charts are favoring. And don't worry about all the gobbledygook on the screen. It's just, just stuff that I am testing. It's not the algo. I don't want people to think they have to stare at this kind of stuff if they want to be with Algo Factory. It's not like that. I mean, look, everything's still bullish in the high time frame, right? So whatever happens like today, there is a move down probably coming, but it could be super mild, right? I mean, look, this is on the 3-hour chart. You're having a retracement. I would say a dive down to this upper like 48.5, that area might see price head to it. This immediate liquidity was grabbed that I just erased. So, we could see price head down kind of to this area. It could also just consolidate like this. Price may just kind of hang out up in this area. And then like as it consolidates, grab that liquidity and then come back into the consolidation. It just really depends on how the high time frame strength is able to hold on. Because price is in an area where it does want to head down, but it could be one of those quick flashes down, right? So, that's one thing to look at, right? But yeah, if you're in the private group right now, go ahead in the main channel, or if you look right, let me see, I'll copy and paste it for you. Go ahead and click on this YouTube link, go over, watch us on YouTube, and do your comments on YouTube, please. I will be watching over there for your questions. Here's your link right there. Okay, cool. So sent that in the private chat. So if you guys have questions or you want to talk, go ahead and talk in there. Thank you. All right, cool. So here is Ethereum. Remember, this is the public live lab. The private one starts at in 15 minutes. Ethereum dropped down right down here to this. What is this? The 272. Okay, so this is just a revisit of a of an area where price, like this is, let's take this out. Let's just do a fib retracement. Okay, we're going to start analyzing this from a different standpoint. Let's do this. Look, Ethereum, it does look like it's like super strong in the near term. And it dipped down to 382, right? So, we are looking at price possibly grabbing that 382 if it continues down. It's just hard to say whether or not price is going to continue down to that level, right? Like that's the trick. Whether or not price actually is going to grab that 382, because it's, you see, this is a 3 hour. I'd say this is just a breakdown caused by the announcement. So this is on a 3 hour chart. If I were to go to a lower time frame, I bet you most of that candle is going to be in this most recent, like 5 minutes, half hour candle. So yeah, definitely. Let's look at the 5 minute. Yeah, you can see it has to do with the announcement. So the announcement was, 1, 2, 3 candles ago. So it definitely is just, it's pushing down based on this price announcement. And Ethereum was actually pretty bullish. Yeah, Ethereum's like actually pretty strong. I would expect this move that we just saw on Ethereum to be canceled out pretty quickly, like within the day. If anything, price will continue to range where it was before the announcement. And I'm betting that range was probably partially a product of CPI coming out, right? So it's back in already into that range. It came down. It probably grabbed some liquidity, it almost touched a 382, but it might not even touch 382. So Ethereum is just, doing well right now. So I would expect maybe, this kind of thing, and then eventually a move up right now. That's what I would look at for Ethereum. And if that, that's just what I'm seeing in the charts. That's what I'm seeing in the algos. It's just strong moves up. And to measure the next move up. Now I did have it grabbing 27. That's what I had Ethereum grabbing, was 2,700, and almost got there. It got up to 2,680. So it's just on its way there. Now I'm going to get some fib levels, and then we're going to back out and see what the price action says. The actual price where Ethereum might go based on more recent price action, you're looking at targets around 2,740, and I'd say 2,800, maybe just below 2,800, because that's a round number. But if I go back into the history to look at price action from a higher time frame, just to get some of the price action for like resistances and stuff, yeah, I don't see a whole lot in the way of what we got going on here. I don't see a whole lot when it comes to price action that's in the way of of these targets that I just like drew out. So I would be looking at, like I said, probably 28. You could go up past 2,800 for Ethereum. You could go up to 2,815. Like that's reasonable. But when I'm around such when prices around such super round numbers like 2,800, I tend to front run that a little bit. So my target, if I were long on Ethereum, might be just below 28 for like a day trade, or a swing trade. But so yeah, say 27. I don't know if this 27.15. Okay, that's just an old resistance right there. So this is the thing that Ethereum is going to have to contend with, is this old resistance sitting at 2015. If price can break through that, right, it's going to make its way probably up to 2,800. But that is it. Price currently just extended a fair amount, and now it's like in a consolidation. So it might take some time, and it might even kind of chill out before it heads up, right? It might kind of see either consolidation inside of this range that I just kind of drew, maybe even that it goes for a little bit longer type situation, or it might even, instead of going like this, it might actually pull one of these and kind of head down a bit and grab that 382 and then pop up, right? But you got to watch out right here for this prior resistance at 27.16. That's what you got to watch out for. Okay, good. That's Ethereum. Let's take a look at, oops. V, you want to see anything in particular?
Yes. I would like to see the Solana.
Solana it is. Solana, the hot ticket.
Oh,
Solana looks like Ethereum.
it is on fire, man.
Yeah, it broke right out of this. I thought it was
Wow.
going to consolidate, but it
We
did
are at
not consolidate.
112 right now.
It's
My
112.70.
goodness.
Yeah, it's relatively unaffected. So it never even stopped consolidate. It just broke up. So I think and it's already grabbed. It's already touched this this level right here that I'm about to draw. It came up and then it created this little consolidation. So like maybe a day-long consolidation. Broke below it, but then broke above it, right? So you're looking at like it's now grabbing the liquidity off of this consolidate. If I extend this out further, you'll see that it's right on top of that. And it might be, being Solana, it might have been front run so that you can't even get your entry on this because, the smart money likes Solana, so they're going to front run before it gets to the consolidation. Technically, the needle does go up this high, so technically it's like right on top of it, just barely touching this consolidation on two of these wicks. So it got grabbed. So it wouldn't surprise me on Solana right now. Let's do just a little extension here for super, for swing trade, so maybe a day or two type trade. My targets on Solana would look like 118. And I do have an old target here from a prior higher time frame fib extension sitting at 121. So that's a little bit safer, but it could go up to 122.50. But this 121, like 120.90, that's to me is a pretty safe target because that's actually from an older fib extension that I did, I think, yesterday. So, Solana is probably going to break 120 and it's probably going to do it today. All right, cool. That's Solana. Any audience requests or gorilla requests? Let me know. We got time for maybe one more chart on the free to the public deal. No requests. Okay, so let's go over to USD JPY. Let's take a look at how. Okay, so this one's still headed up. So the CPI was strong enough to sustain this move upwards so far. Like it wasn't one of these, it's going to pop up and pop back down. If you look at it right here on the 5-minute, apparently I'm guessing that either this was a little unexpected, but for the moment, price is heading up on the dollar and it continues to head up candle after candle on the 5-minute. Now, of course, this eventually should and will tire out. Now, it might, of course, go up quite a bit more and it won't tire out of the 5-minute. It might tire out on like the half hour. But for the moment, this move up is sustained. It's sustained. And you're starting to see as much as, see, 149.25, 150.51. You're starting to see it closer to 1% in a move on the JPY. And on the euro, it's gone from 79 to, yeah, so you're almost down like 1% on the euro as well. So, and price just continues downward. And it was actually, and the charts were calling for it. It was continuing up overnight. I actually had some little scalp wins over there. In forex, I had some scalp wins last night while I was just kind of up late trading, testing, algos and all that. So, but this, it did, like, it was heading up strong and now it's just like getting murdered. And it was in a pretty considerable range here, going back like several days. This is the euro. And of course, this is going to be reflected in other charts as well. It's just almost like a function of currency stasis, right? Which we actually kind of don't like. I mean, we can trade it. It's not that we can't trade it, but volatility is what pays the bills usually in trading. But you do have a bit of a range, kind of. It's dirty. It's not so clean. Hard to establish on this, but I would have it like this, maybe, I guess. Either way, it's broken out of it. So price came down. Now, will this whole move end? Is it going to pop back up and start, sort of behaving? The higher time frames on this, by the way, are, I think, still bearish on the euro. Yeah. So, at some point, price was looking to return to its move downward. Because now it's super compressed in high time frames where that might change at some point, but that's super high time frame. The move down was pretty much destined to continue, and it looks as if the CPI was the trigger, right? This was one big downtrend, and it was trending up a bit, and now it's headed down again. So now what'll probably happen is now look, we're on the daily now, right? 18-hour really. So this is high time frame stuff, but it's probably going to kind of pull one of these here and then one of these here, and then it may continue down or not. But I do think we're going to see another long opportunity. This short opportunity is too far in for me to be interested on this higher time frame, right? It's already moved along too far. So I would wait for this move to tire out, this news to be digested, and perhaps see a move back up. Now, if the move up is truncated, if it's abbreviated, if it's a tiny move up, and then the charts tell me I can short, I would short then, right? Because everything's bearish right now for sure. So if you get this little move up and then it pumps down, then I'm definitely interested in shorting that for sure. Brad says C, B, and V, any drips? Brad, the drips are on Thursday, bro. Come on in on Thursday. All right, so we got the euro. I think the public live lab is just about over, Gorilla. So if you could please get us out of here, we will.
Certainly. All right, I want to thank all you guys for listening in, and with the clinic that Cowboy's putting on again, it's immaculate as usual. And guys, look, you want to join us over at the private lab. Not only you're going to get the tools of the trade, not only you're going to learn how to build these algorithms and to do trading, folks, but you're going to get the play-by-play of everything that's happening in the world. You will be ahead of the curve when you join us right here at Algo Factory. With that being said, click the link in the description box, scan that QR code, and join us. Cowboy, take it away.
Yeah, I got to get that join us or die. Every time you say that, I gotta like
or die.
I gotta do that.
Yeah.
All right, hold on a sec. I'm gonna do the machine button pushing. Give me 1 second, audience. I usually quicker at this.